Hello, my name is Sandy, and welcome to the Sandiverse. Today, I'm here with Kelsey Kowalski, the artist of the cover art of the upcoming project, Hourglass. How are you doing today, Kelsey?
I am doing well.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
I appreciate you sitting in these comfy chairs. So we're gonna head and get started. The first thing I want to know is, how did you get into art?
I started painting when I was about 5 years old. My dad is a photographer, and he bought me my first easel and a little pad of paper. And I started off drawing at first, and then he kind of encouraged me to get into painting. And then it sort of grew from there. I would always doodle on my notebooks and through grade school, on the sides. I used to get yelled at for doing that.
You did.
But I mean, rightfully so. I should have been paying attention. But then I, took a few classes, and I've just grown quite a bit. And it grew into loving to create. I've been creating ever since I can remember.
Yeah.
So
I'm sorry. Keep going.
No, it's all good. I was just gonna say my parents were my big encouragers.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Some people, that's a little bit tough at times, just because with art, what we've talked about before, with art and music, sometimes it's not as valued by certain people. They don't see it as, a profession or something that people should be doing.
Right.
So that's cool that your parents inspired you to do art.
Definitely.
That's awesome. So what kind of art do you do? What's the medium? What are the themes in your art, would you say?
So I like to upcycle furniture. I like to do, I like to paint on canvas or other materials that I can find. I like to take what other people consider to be junk or trash and turn it into a treasure of some sort. I like to explore with wood burning. It kind of goes all over the place. The world is my canvas, and I've got a lot of paint. And I like to use my dreams as inspiration, especially lately. So I've been remembering a lot of details from my dreams. I also meditate a lot.
Yeah.
And then my ideas come from those meditations.
Cool.
And then sometimes I'll just take a paintbrush and dip it in whatever color I'm feeling and kind of go from there, and I start creating a bunch of different patterns throughout. I feel like I probably have a little bit of ADD in me. And so sometimes a pattern turns into a different pattern. It kind of goes all over the place.
Yeah.
I'd like to consider my style a little more psychedelic. Right now I'm in a place in life where I am working on balance, and I feel as though my artwork mirrors that, with balance in my own personal life. My artwork has become a lot more balanced. I try to find a focal point and go from there.
It's interesting that you say that it comes from, I guess, your dream world or dreamscape. It all makes sense now when I'm looking at your art. I'm like, okay, to me there's very bright, interesting colors, and the way that you blend them together, it is kind of like a dream. So that does make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
That's super neat.
Yeah.
So what was it like working on the cover art for the upcoming project Hourglass? I want to know about the process, clear from when we started talking to finishing the project.
Well, when we met, you just have this personality about you that's very calming, and I immediately feel comfortable when I talk to you. And after you had told me what you wanted included, which was the hourglass on the side, kind of like time standing still, I thought of a beach, and I kind of went from there. And I used watercolor. I know that you had mentioned that you wanted watercolor, but you are kind of like a beach. in a way. Like people come to you when they're looking to feel relaxed, and I wanted to create something that was calming and represented your sort of aura that you kind of bring to the table to others.
It turned out so well.
Thank you. I had fun working on it.
Yeah.
As soon as I started, I couldn't stop.
Yeah, because you were pretty fast with it. Like I remember we met in maybe like maybe a few days, a week. I don't remember. Less than a week later, you're like, it's finished.
Yeah.
And you implemented some of the colors that are part of sand. So I remember. I really love how you use kind of the blue, green, and the purple and intermix those with the shapes, which, I mean, goes along with your style well with doing different shapes. And then I really also liked how the suns inside of the hourglass, how you blended the colors. One was like yellow to red, but then on the other side you did red to yellow, which gave it that kind of like you have to look at it again.
Kind of an upside down world in a way.
Yeah. I love how it turned out. Okay, we're moving right along. So I know we've talked about some of the things that you've been working on. I want to know what you're working on now, and then what your plans are for the future with projects.
So right now, I am working on a few pieces that are dream related. I don't know what's been going on with them. My dreams have been really crazy and very intricate lately. And I'm trying to remember each of them as much as I can, but I seem to go to some really pretty universes in them. One of the dreams I had was I entered into this bathhouse, or I went into this room, and then there was this door that kind of struck my attention, and I opened it and I walked in, and there was this intricate like bathhouse, and I was wearing this dress that I had painted, and there was a pile of mud there, and I fell into the mud and I put it all over myself, and then there were 4 different pools, and they were very colorful and very detailed, and I saw people that I had never met. They were going into these pools, and they were all smiling and laughing, and this lady that I had never met just smiled at me, and she guided me to one of the pools, and I was still covered in mud, wearing my dress. I had my backpack purse on, which had my phone in it, and like I just decided to go in, and I went in, and my phone was in my bag, and I didn't care in the dream. And then I just cleansed myself, and that's kind of one of the pieces I've worked on lately, and I can only describe it because I can't pull up a picture at this moment, but that kind of gives like a general idea of how crazy
I was imagining it the whole time you were describing it.
So those are the types of dreams I've been having, and right now I've been working on painting on canvas. I have done a few pieces of furniture for other people. My upcoming project that I will be working on, I also like to explore doing body paint with other people. I've painted my face and a couple other people's faces, a couple of other women's faces.
So cool.
So I am going to be painting 100 women's different faces. I'm going to create a project with that, and I'm going to try and raise funds. I think I'm going to make prints of the artwork and hopefully put together a show eventually. But the funds that I make from the artwork that I sell, I'm going to be donating to women's shelters to support women who have survived abuse, which is important to me because I am a survivor, and I want to take my experiences and help those who are recovering, because I consider myself to be healed from my trauma that I went through. And I think, it's that quote, once the healing has begun, go out and heal someone else. And that's what I really want to help others as much as I can. So that's one of the projects I'll be working on. I'm also doing mural work at this, it's called Detox Sober Lounge. We were talking about this earlier, and I'm going to be helping to do mural work there. And that's a great place here where different people of all walks of life can come to just to support the arts. And so those are just a few projects.
Yeah, well, thank you for using your art to empower other people. I think that's super important.
Yeah.
I think that's like a huge role that we play as artists, if we can, you know, if we're at that point where we can give back. And so
that's what you do too. So yeah,
I do my best.
Yeah.
So Kelsey, if there was one thing you could tell yourself when you were younger, what would that be?
Yeah, yes, you can is the thing that always comes to mind. I used to doubt myself a lot, and if I could go back and tell myself, yes, you can, I think that I don't mind being in this walk of life. I love the walk of life that I'm in, and I love the place where I'm at right now. But I would have liked to have seen my younger self not feeling so sad. And I wish that she would have been a little bit happier. And so I think if I could go back and tell her, yes, you can, that might have put a little bit more of a smile on her face. So.
And now you're here, and you're growing, and you've grown, and you're giving back. And so there must have been some little inkling in your future self telling your past self that, because here you are.
Oh yeah.
And you're doing it.
Yeah.
And you're being a full-time artist and doing your thing, and it's really amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you sharing. And I'm so happy that we were able to work together and do the cover art for Hourglass. And I want everyone out there to know where they can find you.
You can find me on Facebook. I also have an Etsy. My Facebook page is called Acrylic and Mind Trip. And then my Etsy is Unique Creations by Kelsey. And the Etsy shop, it's different pieces that I've created, and I've turned them into clothing and even bathroom goods and whatnot, like shower curtains and rugs, and it goes all over the place, even boots. I have a few pieces that I've ordered from it, and I love it. A lot of it's made in the US too, which is pretty cool.
Nice. Awesome. So, yeah. Cool. Well, thank you for tuning in today. Appreciate you being here. Thank you, Kelsey.
Thank you.
And we'll see you next time. Hi, and welcome to the Sandiverse. My name is Sandy, and I'm the creator of Sandy. I just wanted to let you know that my new project, Hourglass, is out on all streaming platforms. Please join me on my website for new content and music.